Now we are going to go back to phasors and see how we can draw two phasors and find the angle between them properly. So listen this carefully. See units 3, 4, 5. We will be drawing a lot of phasor diagrams for transformer, DC motor, and other things. That time these concepts will be really helpful to you. So we are going to consider voltage and current, and we are going to draw the phasor for this. Okay. So see here, I have considered V of t equal to Vm sine omega t. It's a proper sine wave, and I of t is equal to Im sine omega t minus theta. So I told you in the beginning, whenever you get a minus sign, it is going to be lagging. Lagging means it is going to stay behind. Whenever you get a plus sign, it's going to be leading. Okay, so when with respect to this see this is sine omega. I can write this term as sine omega t minus zero. This one is sine omega t minus theta. So the angular difference is going to be theta. So when you have minus sign here, it means that current is lagging your voltage by the angle theta. Okay, how to draw these? See, you can draw them in time domain. You can draw sine wave as Vm sine omega. This is your voltage, and current is delayed, so it will not start immediately. It will start somewhere after your voltage. So this is the value of current. So I can draw the voltage functions and current functions in time domain very easily just by knowing the value. Now I am going to draw the same thing in terms of phasor. See here, when I'm going to draw Vm sine omega t, the phase angle is 0. So the reference is going to be a positive x. Then the phase angle is 0. I draw Vm along the positive x-axis. Next, look at the expression for current. I of t equal to Im sine omega t minus theta. Lagging means you should draw it below. Or I can say Vm should come first and Im should come after that. Always the rotation is anti-clockwise, right? So when anti-clockwise rotation takes place, Vm should always go first and Im should always come behind the Vm because the current is lagging the voltage by theta, and minus theta means you have to draw it below. So it is Im is lagging your Vm by theta degrees. So I can say from this, V of t is going to lead I of t by theta, or I of t is going to lag V of t by theta. The term lagging has a synonym. It is called as delayed. I gave you an example in the very first class also. So when your bus is coming at 8 o'clock to your stop, but the bus next day because of traffic it comes at 8:10. So actually it should have come at 8, but it is coming only by 8:10. So which means that there is a delay. That is what is given in terms of phasor. So the bus coming on first day is your VM. The bus coming on second day is your IM. Both have a time delay of 10 minutes there. Here they have a time delay. Here they have a angular delay of theta. That is the significance. And assume if you have I of t equal to Im sine omega t plus theta, then you will be drawing Im here. This angle will be theta. And when you rotate anti-clockwise, I will come first, then V will come. So I will say current is going to lead my voltage by theta degrees. That's what the phasors make your understanding very simple. They convert even every complex equation into a simple vector. So that's why phasors are useful in all the analysis of our AC signals. Is it clear? And when can we use these phasors? There are some conditions. So I can plot phasors only if I'm considering two sine waves means I can plot the phasor only if both have the same frequency. Very, very important. See here, frequency means you have to see the omega term. Omega t, omega t. So if I have omega t and 2 omega t, I cannot draw the phasor because the frequency is different. The very first condition is when you are going to plot two signals, their frequencies must be same. See, when you have omega t and 2 omega t, the entire signal characteristics itself become changed. So I cannot represent the two signals in the same phasor diagram. Okay, the first condition is frequency should be same. Second condition, both are written with positive amplitude. Very, very important. So Vm, Im, what I write, both should be positive. I should have, for example, 2, 1, 3. If I have 2 here, if I have minus 3 here, I cannot draw the phasor directly. I have to convert this minus sign into an angle. And you know that cos 180 is minus 1, right? So whenever you have a minus sign, you try to add 180 to your phase angle. So that's how you make the amplitude positive. So in case in exam, for example, if they ask you to draw the phase angle for -3 sine omega t means you should not write it is not possible. It is possible when you convert the -3 into +3. So in you know that the cos only cos has this for value cos 180 is -1, right? So I can replace the -1 by adding 180 in my phase angle. So we are now that -3 has become 3. Now I can draw the phasor diagram. Okay. Very first condition, the frequency should be same. Second condition, both of them should have positive amplitude. Negative amplitude cannot be represented in terms of phasors immediately. Okay. And last and final condition, both should be sine or both should be cos. Here you see the example, both are sine, accepted. Both are cos, accepted. But if one is sine, one is cos, you have to convert them into another and draw the phasor diagram. So these 3 points have to be taken care when you are going to draw the phasor diagram for sine wave. And predominantly all our logic is based on sine. So even though you have two cos functions, it is better converting them into sine and then drawing the phasors. So our basis is going to be the sine function only, even though it is given. If both are cos, you can draw, but what textbook says, we'll convert everything to sine and then draw. We'll take sine wave as our reference. Is the rules clear how to draw phasor diagram for two expressions? So the two expressions are given. You should not blindly mark them and draw the phasor diagram. You should analyze these conditions and then only you should draw the phasor diagram. Are the rules clear to everyone how to draw phasor diagram? Maybe if we solve some, maybe if
Yes, sir.
you solve some problem, it should be clear to you. See this problem. See this example. I hope everybody can see this. And the conversion formulas are given here, which you should know how to convert sine to cos and cos to sine. So sine to cos and cos to sine, you'll be using 90 degrees. Sine to sine and cos to cos, you'll be using 180. Okay, same angle means 180, different angle, complementary angle means 90 I'll be using. So see here, see the first expression, V is V of V1 equal to Vm1 cos 50t plus 10. V2 equal to Vm2 sine 50t minus 30. Are all the conditions satisfied here? Three conditions I said, right, are all being
No, sir.
satisfied here. Which condition
No,
No,
is
sir.
sir.
violated here?
Sir,
Is
both
the free
either
is the
cos
frequency
and
same?
sine.
Both should have either cos or sine function, sir.
Yes. What do we have here? It is one is going to be cos, other one is going to be sine. So I cannot draw the phasors directly. So what should I do? Should I convert cos to sine or sine to cos?
Cos to sine, sir.
It's always better to convert cos to sine because I told you sine is our reference. Is the frequency same for both the waveforms? Is the frequency
Yes,
same?
sir.
Yes, sir.
What is the
Yes, sir.
frequency? What is the frequency?
50 hertz.
Hertz? No. 50 is correct. What is the unit? It is sine omega t. Instead of omega, you have what is the unit of omega? Angular frequency.
Rad per second.
Radians.
Radians per second. Okay, so the frequency is 50 radians per second. So I'm going to convert this into sine. So I'm going to add 90. You know sine 90 plus theta is cos theta, correct? So if I want to convert this cos theta into sine, I'm going to add 90 to the angle. So my first expression becomes V1 equal to Vm sine 50 plus 10. 10 is already there. I'm adding 90, so it becomes 100 now. Second term is already in sine. It is good to go. So I'm writing it now. So now can I draw the phasor for these two changed expression of V1 and V2? Yes, because both are having the positive amplitude, both are having sine, both are having the same frequency. Now I can draw the phasor. First, see V1. V1 is leading or lagging. See the expression for V1. V1 is leading or lagging.
Leading.
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 Yes.
Leading.
Whenever
Leading, sir.
Yes, very good. Whenever you see a plus sign inside, it is going to be leading. Leading from where? It is leading from where? Leading from where? Leading means you should have some reference, right? Leading from where? It is leading from your reference axis. The reference axis is
0
positive
degrees.
x-axis. From the positive x-axis, it is going to lead by 100 degrees. So see here, I have marked V1 and the angle is 100 degrees. Second one, The angle is minus, so it should be obviously lagging behind the reference. So I will be drawing V2 below, and the angle is going to be minus 30. So whenever you mark the angle in the opposite direction, you will be writing it with negative sign. Okay. Clockwise, anti-clockwise is always positive. Clockwise is going to be negative for writing your angle. So now what is the phase angle between V1 and V2? What is the phase angle between V1 and V2?
130, sir.
It is 130 or 70. Just because I've written 130, it need not be right. It is 130 or 70.
Sir, doubt, sir.
130, sir.
130 will be good.
Yes. Yes,
130,
you
sir.
can ask. Yes, yes, ask
130,
about.
sir.
Sir, we have VM1 and VM2, sir. They are of different amplitude, no, sir.
Yes, they are the peak amplitude of your signal. Assuming them they are positive, we are going forward with the drawing of phasor.
Yes, sir, but they
Yes, here
are not of same amplitude, sir.
they need not be same. I have just considered an example. They need not be same. Whatever amplitude you will be putting this arrow mark tip, you will be writing VM1. This arrow mark tip is VM2. That is the peak value. And this vector fully represents your V1. This fully represents your vector V2 along with the angle. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
See, the angle is 130. See, till reference V1 is 100. From reference V2 is 30. So 100 plus 30 is 130. So I will say V1 is leading V2 by 130 degrees. But actually, if you see from the question without converting, if you do, it will be like the angle is 40, which is actually wrong. If we don't convert this cos and do, instead of 100, you will be drawing 10. So the total angle you will write 10 plus 30, which is wrong. So I convert both of them to sine and proceed with the phase diagram. I can say V1 is leading V2 by 130, or V2 is lagging behind V1 by minus 130. So leading is always, the sign notation is positive. For lagging, it is going to be always negative. See how these complex waveforms have been written just by 2 lines. That is the beauty of phasors. Phasors make your job very simple. Phasors need only 2 things. What are 2 things? They don't need frequency, they don't need time, they don't need sine or cos, they need value on phase angle. So if you know these 2 things, I can draw phasor for any cos and sine waveform. See how a complex equation is transformed into a beautiful phasor just having 2 lines and angle between them. So this will make your understanding clear. It will also ensure that you can represent your signals better using phasors. Okay, is this clear? Maybe you can, if you can solve some practice problems given in your textbook, which I uploaded, you will get more idea, more understanding about how to draw phasors for some other examples also.